Good morning, guys. Did you guys like the story Help? I did too. I thought it was a pretty good story. I think I liked it even better than Big Red Lollipop from last week. Alright, in the story, I bet you noticed that it had some of those vocabulary words not underlined, but they had them highlighted in yellow, and that means they're vocabulary words. They are important words that you need to know what they mean, because they're kind of new words that will be good for second graders to know. So let's read these words really quick before we talk about what they mean. Perfectly, nervously, peered, afraid, secret, rescue, depend, and actions. And those are the two that were not in the story. If you were looking and saying, Miss Jessie, I don't see depend and I don't see actions, you're right. They were not in that story, but they are just some words that kind of go along with the story that they still want you to be able to know what they mean. So, in the story, I remember, I'm kind of flipping to find where I saw that word. Oh, I remember in the story they were going on the walk, and Hedgehog was talking Mouse into walking with him, and he said, you're going to be perfectly safe. Or I might say, oh, you did that paper perfectly. What does perfectly mean? Or you threw that football perfectly to the receiver. Yeah, it means you're doing something very good. You're doing it perfectly. You're doing it very good. All right, nervously. I remember in the story when they were going on the walk together, Mouse was still feeling very scared of Snake, and he was looking around nervously, making sure Snake wasn't coming. So what does nervously mean? If Mouse was looking around nervously. Or, I forgot my homework, so I was acting very nervously when the teacher asked me where it was. Or I was afraid I wasn't going to stop at the right place when I was driving my car, so I was watching very nervously to make sure I didn't miss it. Yeah, when you're nervous or acting nervously, you are worried about what's going to happen. You're kind of acting like you're worried. Very good, because nervous and worried kind of mean the same thing. Alright, the next word is peered. Oh, this was after Mouse fell in that hole because he wasn't watching. He was being too nervous and he wasn't watching. I remember Hedgehog peered down into the hole to see him. What does peered mean? Or I thought I saw a coyote in the woods, so I peered through the trees to see if I could see it. Or I dropped my quarter under the bed, so I peered under there to see if I could see it. What does peered mean? Yeah, you're looking at something closely. You're looking real close to see if you can see it. Alright, the next word was afraid. And I remember Hedgehog was kind of teasing Mouse when he fell in the hole. He said, you should be afraid of yourself. Because it was him that hurt himself, not the snake. So he said, you should be afraid of yourself. What does afraid mean? Because Mouse was afraid of Snake. I've heard other people say they're afraid of the dark, or they're afraid of being on something really tall. I'm kind of afraid of being on something really tall. Afraid of heights is what that's called. What does afraid mean? Very good. When you're afraid, you're feeling scared. You're scared of something. Very good. Alright, and then I remember in the story Secret, when Snake finally showed up after Mouse fell in the hole. Oh, I am sorry, there's that announcement again.
All students going to Boys and Girls Club, please come to the front. Boys and Girls Club. Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. She'll probably come back in a minute and say last call, but maybe not. We'll see. I'm sorry, that's right in the middle of our lesson. Okay, anyway, in the story, I remember after Snake showed up, Hedgehog was kind of whispering to him, and he was like, Mouse fell into the deep dark hole, and we can't get him out. And Snake was like, is it a secret? Because he was whispering, and Snake thought maybe it was a secret. What is a secret? I've had my friend tell me before, shh, no, I'm going to tell you a secret, but you can't tell anybody. Or maybe I've bought a present for one of my kids, and I've told my daughter maybe that I bought Jonah a present, my son, and I'm like, shh, it's a secret, you can't tell him. So what's a secret? Yeah, it's something that you want to keep hidden or private from someone else, from other people. So if you're keeping it private or hidden, you don't want other people to know it, do you? So Snake thought maybe it was a secret since they were whispering, because usually if you're telling a secret, you whisper, don't you? Yeah, because you don't want other people to hear you. It's a secret. It's supposed to be private or hidden. All right, and then the last one was rescue. I remember Snake decided, you know what, I'm going to rescue him. It doesn't matter to me that he's afraid of me right now. He's my friend, and I'm going to rescue him anyway. So what does rescue mean? And I remember in My Rotten Red-Headed Older Brother, her brother had to rescue her, kind of, when she fell. So what does rescue mean? Yeah, it's when you help somebody or you save them from danger. Snake saved a mouse from danger. He rescued him. And in My Rotten Red-Headed Older Brother, Richard saved Tricia from danger. You know, he carried her home after she fell and hit her head. All right, and then the last word is depend. And that's not in the story, remember, but I know that Mouse depends on his friends. He knows that his friends will help him. He depends on him. And I'll give you another example. If you get a dog or a cat, that dog or cat depends on you to take care of them, don't they? They depend on you to feed them and give them water and to play with them, because a dog can't do those kinds of things by itself. It depends on you. So I wonder what depend means. Yeah, depend means you trust somebody to take care of you. You trust someone else to take care of you, like you depend on your mom and dad. You trust them to take care of you. It's their job kind of to feed you, to get you food, make sure you have clothes, make sure you have somewhere to stay. You depend on them to take care of you. And I bet sometimes your parents depend on you to do things. Like if they've asked you to clean up your room, they depend on you to do that. They trust that you're going to do it. So that's what depend means. They trust that that's going to happen. They kind of believe it. All right, and then the last thing are actions. There she is again.
This is the last call for Boys and Girls Club.
Sorry again, guys. All right, actions. Now remember, that's not in the story either, but the animals in that story had lots of actions. Like when they were talking to each other, that was an action. And when they had to tie the stick to Snake's tail, that was an action. When Snake stuck the stick down into the hole, that was an action. You guys are probably doing actions right now. You are watching something. You might be eating. Those are actions. So what are actions? They are things that someone does. Anything you do is an action. When you jump, it's an action. When you sing, it's an action. When you fall down, it's an action. Those are things you do. So that's what an action is. An action is a lot like predicates. Yeah, remember predicate is what the subject is doing. So an action is a predicate. Wow, you're right. All right, so I'm going to turn it to the camera now that we've seen all these words and we know what they mean, because I'm going to show you how I want you to do your assignment today. Hey guys. All right, so to do your assignment, you are going to need just a piece of paper. And I've got the kind that has the lines on it. If you have a blank piece of paper, it doesn't matter to me. You just need a piece of paper. And you're going to do something called 4 blocks. So this is how you make a 4 blocks. You take your piece of paper, and the first thing you're going to do is fold it in half, like this. So I fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it this way. Alright, and then I'm going to open it up. I think I am. There we go. I'm going to open it up, and you can see that there are 4 blocks. Yes, that's why we call it 4 blocks. You're right. There are 4 blocks on the front, and there'll be 4 blocks on the back. And this is what you're going to do in those 4 blocks. You are going to pick one vocabulary word to write a sentence and draw a picture about. For example, I'm going to kind of help you with. I'm going to flip back so I can see the vocabulary words real quick, and I'm just going to pick the first one. Alright, so it's perfectly. So I have to write a sentence for perfectly in this first block and draw a picture to go with my sentence. So I'm thinking of a sentence for perfectly. She sang that song perfectly. That's my sentence. So I'm going to make sure I put a capital. She sang that song perfectly. Perfectly. And I know mine looks backwards, but I'm hoping it won't be when you see the video. I'm hoping. But you can see that I put a capital at the beginning and I've got an end mark at the end because sentences need that. Make sure you've got capitals and end marks. So here's my sentence. She sang that song perfectly. I need to draw a picture to go with it in that block. So I'm going to draw a picture of somebody singing a song perfectly. Draw some music notes here to kind of show that she's singing. You guys were such good artists when we had to do that visualization video last week, and you had to draw the picture that matched the boy with his paint everywhere. I loved looking at you guys' pictures. You guys are really good artists. And I'm not the best artist, but there's my picture to go with she sang the song perfectly. Shows that she's singing. And you can color it with crayons if you want to. Just do the best you can on the picture. I know some people don't like to draw. Do the best that you can to draw a picture. Make sure that your sentence has a capital and an end mark. And if you are trying to write a hard word, like you don't know how to spell the word, do your best. Sound it out. Put what you hear. You don't always have to ask somebody to help you. I know Mom and Dad love to help you, and they're doing such a good job of helping you. But sometimes you don't need any help. On these ones, we're trying to get better at spelling words without help, without asking somebody what it is all the time. So if you come to a word you're not sure, I want you to try it and sound it out, okay? Just put what you hear. I promise I'll be able to read it and I'll know what you mean. But I want you to just sound it out so you practice getting those letters and those sounds together, okay? Alright, so this is going to be your assignment. It's going to say 4 blocks and you have to make it yourself. And you're going to do all of the vocabulary words. Like I did one perfectly. I'll do the next one in this box. I'll do the next one in this box, and then the next one in this box. And I'll have to flip it over to do the last 4 on the back, okay? And then your parents will have to take a picture. You take a picture of it. You could even probably, if you've got a laptop like mine, you can hold it up just like this. And you can take a picture like I'm on the video right now. But if I go to picture, I could take a picture. I'd take a picture of the front and the back, and then I'd be able to attach it to my work. And I'll show you what I mean real quick. I wish I'd done an assignment, but I think I've got a practice one here. Let me go into my practice team. Yes, I have a practice team. Like assignments, let's look. See if I have anything in assignments. I think I do. There's one. It's just called practice, but let's go to student view. Alright, like this is what you'll see when you go into your assignment. It won't have something here to click on. It's going to have something that says add your work or upload your work here, and you'll click, and then you'll go to your computer and you'll find, I don't know what it's doing now. You'll go to your computer and you'll find your picture. Woo, what is it doing? There we go. You'll find the picture that you took and upload your work so that I can see it, okay? And if you need any help with that, I can help you figure out how to take the picture and send it in the assignment. But it's really not that hard. You're going to go to the assignment, and then you'll just go to add your work, and you'll take a picture of your work, send it to me, and then I can check it, okay? All right. Good luck. And then I'll put this on here back, your vocabulary words. That way if you want to pause it on this part of the video so you can see all the vocabulary words and what they mean, that would be great. Alright guys, good luck on your 4 blocks.